Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Gridley store. Quite a historical building made of native stone. Little things like this just get my goat. Nice metal rusty ring. I'm a guy, so I like rusty things, obviously. But the Royal Colt Gridley, citizen extraordinaire. This simple stone structure opened to public in 1863, was originally operated as a general merchandise store by the firm of Gridley, Hobart, and Jacobs. Gridley is best remembered for his 1864 wager, which prompted the auctioning of a sack of flour for donations to the Sanitary Fund, the Civil War forerunner of the American Red Cross. The flour was sold again and again throughout Nevada and California, then taken east and eventually auctioned at the St. Louis Sanity Fair in 1864, and all raising $275,000 for this fund, which means in today's money that'd be worth $600,000 probably. But Gridley died almost penniless 6 years later. It's a very relevant story, and obviously it is something I had to make a film of. And I'll make films of the plaques. I can put them all together for our viewers. This is the outskirts of Austin, and I cannot wait to get my hands in this place. There's 5 cemeteries in Austin, all side by side. I cannot wait to just delve into the history there. It's what it's about, the history. So many young kids these days look at videos on YouTube and over meaningless things, but this information's invaluable for kids doing college papers and term papers in high school. Very scenic. A lot of telephone wires, because the town is only, I don't know, maybe less than a mile wide, so everything is kind of compact. Every street has the old telephone poles, kind of. Gridley store. How about that? The old Austin Elementary School. Little do people know it. It may not be as old as the other structures, but look at this. The Lander County High School has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places by the United States Department of Interior. It's old. And like I said, not as old as other structures. And it's chained up good. But you can definitely see why I'm filming this for everybody. Because, let's face it, exploration is a dying interest in this country. A lot of people are not into it as I am, or some of my friends. But this is the real deal, man. You can see the A, which overshadows the school. To give you an idea of how vast this area is. Vast open expanses. My camera is having some calibration problems, so you guys are going to have to forgive me for this trip. Nothing can be perfect. Cameras do get dirty and well used, especially with me climbing and taking photos. And it appears that maybe that was the gym, possibly, next to the main school building. But you have to understand, I just got a picture of a stellar jay or a bluebird of some kind, and I just seen multiple deer, about 8 to 12 on a hillside. Haven't seen no antelope yet, but the architecture is amazing. Let's give you a view of what it looks like to be on top of Austin. Of course, we will go much higher today, but I want you guys to see what the town looks like from the school up here. It's all Main Street down below. And you're going to have a lot of old cars, wagon wheels, busted up miner shacks. We'll definitely take it little by little. But this is amazing. Believe it or not, this school is for sale, and probably for quite cheap. I'd love to have a tour of it. It looks like inside there's a flag, and over, it says over, under. Must have had a lower floor. Yeah, half of the bottom floor may have been underground. Gets very cold here, that's for sure. The architecture is just amazing. Old basketball hoop, look at that. Caged windows. People take this kind of thing for granted, but this is history. And I'm sure all these places have a ghost story or two. The land that it was built on, the Shoshones spent thousands of years in this very area. The Shoshone tribe, and now their ways are still practiced. Their influence was not the same as it was when they had villages and tribes where the school property sits. So the land could be haunted. Could have been burials in Austin before it became a town. See how it goes underground? Definitely a basement in this school. How can I not want to photograph this building? There's at least 15 major historic sites, and they all deserve, there's more than that, main historic sites, and you have sub-historic sites like the school, because the school's a lot newer than the rest of the town. I definitely feel like coming out here at 6 in the morning, and here I am filming videos, but you can see it's for sale. Call Cat Wilson. 775-240-1796, Austin, Nevada, if you wish to buy this abandoned school. Looks like it might be a little bit of Greek revival architecture. I'm not sure. I'm not a huge on architecture. Sometimes I can look at something and say, hey, it's this or that. Gothic revival, Greek revival, if you want to call it that. There's different names. You're going to see various architecture in Austin. There were Masons and Oddfellows here, and some of the streets were carved right through canyons and rock blasting to make these streets. You can tell the cuts, maybe even blast marks. Throughout the town, you have many areas just like this. I want to be able to do Austin as thorough as possible. I will definitely try to photograph all the historic remnants, buildings, try to get in a couple places, some mines, anything I can get my hands on. Like I said, there was a whole group of deer just a block away from here, walking almost downtown practically. And I'll show you guys where we are. We are, see Austin, in the center of Nevada. About 32 miles from the center, but no less. I came all the way from the border almost of California, where Lake Tahoe is. See Carson and Douglas County, all the way to the left of that, to the center of the state. I made good timing too, driving. Not a car on the road for 200 miles practically. Home means Nevada. Take a look, folks. This is the old City Hall. And there's an Irish kind of pub saloon right here. Nevada's first bank is somewhere back in here. And I don't really like necessarily, you know, coming back on these roads. People live in some of these structures. It is important to photograph them for historical and educational purposes. This, I believe, is Nevada's first bank. Maybe not, but I believe so. It would be a brick building. It's a real deal, man. This is what the Wild West is about. Love it. Absolutely love it. Nevada's first bank. The sun's very bright. But I wanted to walk down the road because I wanted to kind of show you. I don't know. According to my map, this is Nevada's first bank. Maps are not always accurate. This town sits on America's loneliest highway. There's only 4 towns. Its first commercial business is the International. The International was moved down from Virginia City, the first one, and then it was reconstructed here in 1862. And other commercial buildings followed. It's kind of a hotel and saloon. There's been some shootouts and things, but in 1860s in Virginia City, they built 2 more Internationals, and both burnt down actually, and one of them was the tallest hotel west of the Mississippi. I'm gonna go have a beer at the saloon because it's near my hotel, just a couple blocks away. I don't see a historic plaque on this, but according to my maps, this brick building is the oldest bank, and it may have not be. This could have served as an assay office, telegraph office, a bank, some commercial business, miners administration office. Who knows? But it is old, that I could tell you. The Austin Youth Center, and you can see there's a little bell above it. Downtown is fairly historic. There's a food bank truck. I can imagine that employment's hard and people do struggle and need food assistance in some parts of remote Nevada, so it's understandable. It's good that they have food banks and services to help people in need. I fully agree with that. The Golden Club. See if I can find the Oddfellows Lodge. Seems like because of the cool temperatures that there's not a lot of wildlife. I mean, you have birds, you have a lot of deer and antelope and things like that. But butterflies, flowers, leaves on the tree. Spring's not really begun here yet. It will get very hot in another couple months. And there'll be rattlesnakes all throughout this brush, underbrush, and you'll have to be quite careful. It's not like you can go to the hospital and get anti-venom just anywhere. Some remnants of the past. You'll see these all over town. Ore cart. A steam boiler. Obviously, you could see where the steam came out the top. An old Lander County search and rescue truck. Had a little light on top. Wheelbarrow. Ore cart. A steam-powered wagon of some kind. Had belts. This is classic. This place is like a museum. And this is abandoned, this garage. I mean, obviously there's something historical. It's across the museum's over here. This is probably part of the museum, but they built, to preserve this, they put this lovely sheet metal canopy over it to preserve the wood. And even though it's rusted, it definitely has survived the elements thanks to the town preserving some of the history. It's old school, man. Let's face it, guys like rusty things. This here is the real deal. This town's quaint, and it's warming up, and I'm liking every minute of it. It's totally worth coming out here. You can see the hill, like, very steep hill to climb up. I could have went around the corner and parked in the parking lot, but when I seen this, I had to run and get it. I was like, oh, I gotta get photos and videos of this. Yeah, this is awesome. St. George's. What a brilliant piece of history. Some of the videos I've showed you at the churches, there's 3 churches here. Like I say, they're all extremely relevant. I'm trying to find the church's plaque some of the oldest churches in the Wild West, and you're looking at one of them right here. The other two churches, here's another one and another one. This is history. I love it. I've been looking for this plaque. Austin Churches. St. George Church to the east was consecrated in 1878. The Reverend Blackiston swept the congregation with his enthusiasm and elegance at Easter service in 1877. Here it is, it's Easter. To bring forth pledges including the building, retaining wall, pipe, organ, bell, and $20 gold piece from every employee of the local mine. The organ was shipped around the Horn and by wagon from San Francisco. St. Augustine's Catholic Church to the west. See it to the west? Was built in 1866 of native brick and stone. Father Monteverde, the first pastor, conducted the first Mass at midnight, Christmas Eve, 1866. Admission of $1 per person was charged to limit the number of people attending. You have at St. Augustine's, and that's St. George's off in the distance. The Methodist Church, which is the tallest church in the town of Austin. Forgive me, there are cars. This is a trucking route, so you get Jeeps, cars, mountain bikers. Let me let them pass. The Methodist Church to the north, this is north, was built in 1866. It was financed by the donated stocks, which were pooled by the canny pastor into the Methodist Mining Company and sold in the east. Lectures and entertainment were part of the church scene for benefit purposes. Emma Wixom attended Sunday school here. Later, as the world-famous Emma Nevada, she brought her troupe to Austin and gave a benefit concert in this church. In other words, she was really one of the top opera singers in Nevada. Stories like these that really hit home. It's important we tell them via YouTube, our website. Always check out our website. I don't include everything on our videos. I give you a piece, and I give you much more on our website. Pictures, paranormal, history, media, EVPs, strange things we come across, all the way from bones to UFOs to ghosts to even Bigfoot. We do it all. Today, we're just adventuring. If we find anything paranormal, great. The Austin churches, all three, are some of the oldest in the state of Nevada. Doesn't get any more Wild West than that. This courthouse is one of the oldest in the state, too. I would love to go inside. Jared and I, we're going to go across the street and check it out. But first, I'll take you to the Oddfellows and Masonic Lodge. See what I mean by trucking? Wow, that's loud. There's the sheriff's department. Where's the sheriff's? I don't know. Awesome. Old Austin garage. There's probably a nice racer there. Maybe a couple Harleys, who knows? But check this out. This is the old Masonic and Oddfellows Lodge. And it was shared. And it's on the list of historic places. Definitely, you want me to come down Main Street and check this out. I don't know if it's still in use, but this is history. Here you go. What more proof do you need? Looks like it's shared by multiple fraternal groups. Welcome to downtown Austin. Sorry, no, I was just... It's all broke up there. You can see the chapel, the giant cross, and here's another one. I'll show you something else. It's like 14J Crescenzo Mercantile Trading Post. Look at this. Hardware store. I mean, this is truly old school. Car show? Oh yeah, they like their antique cars here. And okay, we'll cross. Look, that's open. That's where they sell the turquoise. But Tammy's sleeping. Maybe later. We need to be careful. Yeah, let's wait. More shops downtown. What I'll do is I'll park over here and we'll walk downtown here. But first let's get you... Look at this. I survived Highway 50 along this road in America. Validate your Highway 50 survival guide here. Definitely, I need a picture with that. That's awesome. Wow. The Pony Express Trail passed 4 miles north of Austin through Jacobsville, Simpsons Park, and Dry Creek Station. During the Paiute Indian War, the stations were burned and 2 station tenders at Dry Creek were killed and buried there. We're going past Dry Creek tomorrow. This is Pony Express territory, and life was harsh. People did die. You got this beautiful courthouse. Wow. Just want to show everybody we're at the Visitor Center. Nevada Central Railroad was a narrow gauge, operated from Battle Mountain to Austin from 1880 to 1938. About 50 years. The railroad was constructed in just 5 months, beginning in September of 1879. The railroad to Austin was completed in 1880. The Nevada Central served Austin and the area faithfully for 58 years and was abandoned in 1938 after traffic and mining dwindled. By then it was too late. I believe if the railroad would have came around per se 1870s, before the mines went bust, it's possible this town would be more populated and twice its size than it is today. You come around here, ranching. Many of the existing large ranches today were settled in the 1860s, and they stretched along the Reese River Valley to halfway to Battle Mountain. There's also about 30-40 ghost towns up that way. Ranching is a second industry around Austin. Several large ranches continue to operate in the area. Many of them have expanded into hay farming and alfalfa with raising cattle. Alfalfa too, I added in. Mining. Silver was discovered in 1862 and was the reason for Austin's existence, which like I said before. Within 2 years, at the peak of the boom, there were over 8,000 people. Austin miners produced 50 million. Sorry about the wind, guys. By 1865, Austin was Nevada's second largest city. Bet you guys didn't know that. Today, the area is well known for its fine quality turquoise and one of the major production centers for this gemstone. Another fact that a lot of people do not know. Gold is an important mineral in this area as well. The development of modern mining methods has made it possible to process low-grade ore and make it profitable. Modern-day mining, prospecting, and drilling are ongoing in this area. Any mining operations contribute significantly to the economy of the area. This is still a mining community, or it's been revitalized in recent times. Rural Colt Gridley, early-day Austin merchant who became famous for carrying 50-pound sack of flour from Austin to Clifton on April 19th in 1864 to pay off an election bet. While celebrating afterward, Gridley decided to auction off the sack of flour, and like I said, over $200,000 he raised, and that's on his general store. So he eventually did go broke. It's still a fun story to read about. And here's the Austin stone. Historic construction materials in Austin consisted of adobe brick, fired brick, wood, and rock. Built in steep walls of the Pony Canyon, plentiful native granite quarried from the local sources enabled early settlers to shore up on the hillsides and create a level building foundations. Austin stonemasons constructed grand structures such as Stokes Castle, which we have a lot of history on. We will be going today in 1897. Made of granite, hewn, and put into place by hand winches, the large stones that form Stokes Castle were held in position by rock wedges and clay mortar. Other buildings constructed with local stone include St. Augustine's Catholic Church, built in 1866, St. George's Church, built in 1877 to 78, and the Gridley Store in 1863. Original granite street curbs were found on the site and recent adjacent to the sidewalk at this visitor's center. The modern rock wall at the left was built using the same methods as early stonemasons who created fine structures in the town of Austin. Beautiful. Look at the stone wall. I mean, that is just amazing. That's a work of art. Masons built walls here. Some of them are 10 to 12 to 20 feet high. It's a lot of stone to haul and a lot of wedges and a lot of mortar. You had to fit those stones very snug or it would collapse like nothing in a storm. This building's historic in every way as well. It kind of looks like a fortress. It looks like it's been refortified, at least the mortar, so it would stand and be strong against the high winds in Austin. If you did not hear any of the history, it's because it's so windy out here, and there is nothing I can do except my best. Very old buildings made of native stone. And there's an ore cart. Before I cross the street, I want to videotape and show you how quaint it is. Yeah, some of these are saloons, but at one time they could have been some other business in the 1800s. Coors Beer, Wells Fargo, and Express. Budweiser signs. It's pretty cool. Commercial, Austin Commercial Company. Austin, Nevada Mercantile and Dry Goods. Look at how large those stones are. But now you get a feel for what downtown is like. I have nothing but appreciation for the history that's preserved here. And you can see, look at this old cart filled with flowers. But I'll tell you what, this is what they had operating in those mines, filled with ore. This is the real deal. Doesn't get any more Wild West than this. Oh yeah. Looks like the cops pulled somebody over. In these small towns, you can't go over 25, folks. You do, you're going to get ticketed. I know how parts of Nevada are. Some cops are okay with it. Just depends. In the middle of the night, they might not be as reluctant to pull you over as during the day when there's people checking out history here. No, dude. That's a saloon. You don't want to go up there. Yeah. Look at the barber shop. Let me tell you something. We'll go to the International later. But this is truly history. Like the barbershop, Lucky Jeans store brand, Silver Shears Haircuts and Styling. Look at this building. This is the real deal. How often do you see a moving barber pole, or there's a lot of different names for them, but how often do you see something like that? Look at that. That's history. That's the real deal. Wow. Number 8, Old Firehouse, 67 Main Street. Today, the Austin Youth Center. The old fire bell is still up there. That's what I thought it was when I was videotaping earlier. When I showed you guys the bell, that's what I thought it was. A lot of firehouses in the Wild West look like this. They had the bell on top and one or two. Well, they obviously did renovations. At the time, there would be a couple garage-like doors, or doors that lifted up or down, or they'd be wide open. They just put the fire engines inside from the 1800s. Some of them would be pulled by horse and buggy, and by the time they got to a fire, it was already too late. It went up in smoke. This old fire station, it is historic in every way. I love it here. It doesn't get any better than this. And there's the International, first commercial building in Austin. This is International. I want to show everybody these remnants of the past. Old wagon wheels. This massive stone piece has a little bit of history, which I've already talked about. I couldn't find the turntable, but I did stop here. Right before you get into town, you have, it says Austin sprang into being after William Talcott discovered silver at this very spot, May 2nd, 1862. Talcott came from Jacobsville stage stop, 6 miles to the west of Reese River. He was hauling wood out of the Pony Canyon, directly below when he made the strike that set the famous rush to Reese Valley. A town called Clifton, which is below. I'll get a couple pictures of the mill. A couple years. This is Pony Canyon, it's a little narrow canyon, and then further off is Big Canyon, and straight ahead where the river crosses the road is Reese Canyon, which is the largest. Well, Big Canyon is pretty large too. They're both large. They kind of delve into each other. When Austin grew and took over the Lander County seat in 1863, the mines began to expend themselves in the 1880s. Austin was a substantial city of several thousand people. From Austin, prospectors fanned out to open many other important mining camps in the Great Basin. like Ophir, for example, in Kingston. We'll go to Kingston tomorrow. We will. It's gorgeous country, man. I'm standing at the old courthouse, and I promised around sunset I'd come out or towards the nightfall and do a little story about some of the oddities in Austin. As some of you know, in Lander County, the first female sheriff served in Austin when her husband in 1919 was George Crowell, and of course 2 years into his term he became very ill and died. And of course a lot of men had applied for the job, but then there was a petition, blah blah blah, you get the idea. And his widow actually took the job, and she took it serious. In 1893, diphtheria had struck. Many of the young had died. And earlier today, I took you guys to a cemetery, and I pointed out some children's graves. I don't think I pronounced it correctly. Like I said, it was a disease I had written down, or an illness, and I knew it was something that started with a D. Epidemics like Spanish flu and yellow fever and all these things were very common in towns like these. Children died. I mean, can you imagine losing your child to an illness that today is very curable, actually? However, you have to understand that this place was a place of wild Western justice. People were hung and lynched and killed. Obviously an eye for an eye. And I decided to film here because I just love these walls. They're a masterpiece. I realize this is all new, but these walls, they've stood through time. All the way up. Come on, man. Dude, what the... Very funny, guys. This is as funny as almost the pink bunny suit, but whatever. We won't get into that. But, yeah, it is Easter weekend 2015. And, you have the famous Stokes Castle, which is kind of creepy in itself. It's only 50 square feet, 3 stories. First floor had, like I said, a kitchen and a dining room. Second floor had the living room and 1 bathroom. Third level was bedrooms and a second bath, all deep windows, all balconies, and the roof acted as a porch. The brothers walked away. The mines were exhausted. Left the tower standing. And I guess it's rumored somewhere around that tower is buried treasure. I'm going to go to the front, guys. I don't know if Stokes Tower has buried treasure. Look at this tree, how creepy it is. It's something to think about. There's a lot of legends like that. There's a lot of power lines, so I haven't taken any EMF readings. I've taken a lot of EVP, not a lot of EMF. You have to understand that you could see the transformers. It's not a good place to do EMF readings, but you can do EVPs, and sometimes you can get a little voice that's not your own. The town's dead. If it's somebody other than my kids or me speaking, we haven't been around any people today, it could be a ghost, right? True. And I have a lot of stories about murder and outlaws. There was a case of a man involving a crime. It was from Illinois. One night in 1863, when the town was erected, Austin, he went crazy. Started swinging an axe. Struck his partner in the head. Right through the tent flap. Ran across the street. Started swinging at people at the saloon. People were ducking. Somebody even fired a shot. And of course, he obviously got away. And anybody who stood in his way, he axed. He was just crazy. What made him crazy? I don't know. What would make someone want to do that? That's the thing. Egg hunt, April 5th? Okay. I won't be here. I'll be in the Toyabe Mountains. A lot of people were disfigured. This is the sheriff's office also. And there's the wall. I figure this would be a good place to tell the story. And as the story goes, even though everybody was found disfigured, everybody survived. And guess what? Wild Western justice. The next day, about a mile, maybe half mile from Clifton, where that mill I took you guys to earlier, somebody had slashed his throat. And somebody placed the axe in the back of his head. Of course, it was covered up. They said the wounds were self-inflicted. No, they were not. He was murdered. Slashing your own throat and putting an axe in the back of your head, that's murder. Or justice, depending on how you look at it. A lot of history here. We're going to go over, and I'm going to make another video. We'll clip them all together at the Masonic Lodge. So stay tuned for a few more stories of the Wild West, the lawlessness of Austin, Nevada. You're looking at the Austin Garage, the Masonic and the Oddfellows Lodge. This is Main Street right here, the heart of Main Street. You can see the steeple of the church behind the Masonic Lodge. In 1881, Richard Jennings came to the Austin area, and obviously, you know, when you came to the Wild West, you came to these towns, you were a newcomer. People were pretty warm. When you started raping and robbing people, you became an outlaw real quick. People wanted to hang you right on the spot. For a couple weeks, he stayed here, and in December of 1881, he had gotten into a fight probably at a saloon between John A. Barrett and himself. This guy was a respected member of the community, and Barrett offered to buy Jennings a drink. They had a drink, and when Barrett turned his back, guess what? A bullet was put in him by Jennings. Why? I don't know. People tend to go crazy here, it seems, at times. Not all people, but back in the 1800s, like I said, there was a lot of craziness and lawlessness. Crime did take place. You have nothing but mountains on every side, so you could kill somebody and hide in the mountains for months, and that's what a lot of outlaws did. You can guess what happened. It hit Barrett's spine, pretty much killed him instantly. This Jennings guy, he had kids, he had a wife, maybe 5 children at best. So you have to understand that eventually he was killed and he was hung. And of course, you have another story. But there was an outlaw, supposedly, from what I remember. And the outlaw, they tried to execute or hang 2-3 times. I believe each time either the rope broke, whatever the case was. A lot of hanging, and there was trials and everything. Basically, in those days, they didn't mess around. You know, you wasted space in jail, and a year later, 6 months later, you were hung if you murdered somebody. And some got away with murder here. Others did not. Different tragic stories. I could tell you another tragic story. In 1899, there was a railroad laborer, I believe William Del Grosso. I believe he worked up at the depot in Clifton. Came home. His 2-year-old was alone in bed. His wife was nowhere to be found. House was ransacked. I believe he had 2 kids. Let me correct that. The 14-month-old was dead by strangulation. His wife, near the back door or outside, actually was found at the chicken coop, hanging by a rope. Blunt force trauma to the head. I don't know if these people haunt these places. I mean, I'm sure that house still stands where this guy's wife was murdered. It was only 100 years ago. And the kid. The other kid, this guy did not know about. the murderer, and therefore the kid survived. But you could imagine he lost a child or a son, and he lost his wife. Here's the whole deal. Some people were very sympathetic to the Native Americans. They let one of the Indians come in, have a meal with the family. They called this guy, I guess, Indian Frank, a native around Austin or the area. When he drank, he was very violent. And eventually, of course, the town formed the posse, which was common in these cases. But his father ended up turning him in for the murder because obviously that's not the Shoshone way, if that's what he was. They're not a really violent tribe. They never were. So when his father turned him over, his father knew he had a problem. He was beating a squaw. He was beating his own father. You can't do that shit. Of course, the tribe even turned him in, not just his father, because they knew he was a violent-tempered man. And supposedly his excuse was he came for a pocket knife, and the woman pissed him off. He basically hit her in the axe, hanged her in front of the child. See how friendly people are? That guy just waved to me. People are friendly. I'm almost done with the story. And he was making claims he'd have killed the other child if he knew the child was in the house. There's a lot of traffic tonight. You got the church up on the hill, and you have this beautiful home with all the open windows. This is a gorgeous country. The sunsets are beautiful here. And of course, during the hearing, he confessed, was found guilty. Within a month, sentenced to hang. No time wasted. He was guilty. Two of his friends snuck in the jail cell. I guess they got drunk, brought in some poison. Because they knew he was gonna be hung. You know, they didn't want him to go through the pain. The white man and the Native Americans are both at fault. Because they both attacked each other foolishly multiple times. The Paiute Indian Wars, for example, both sides had loss of life. And for what? Over land? There's plenty of land in Nevada. He did try to appeal it. Just like any criminal, they're all innocent. They don't understand how the law works. You know, once you confess, that's it. You're guilty, man. Once you give a confession. His friends gave him the poison. Obviously, the poison made from wild parsnips turned him basically insane. He started foaming at the mouth, stomach cramps, convulsions, seizures, fevers. And justice was never served. He never was hung by the rope. There's been floods. There's been fires. Mud ran down the streets towards Clifton. By then, downtown was a mess. Time and time again, they'd have to clean up. This was a dirt road at one time. It's the Highway 50, loneliest road in America. There was also a plane crash about 19 miles from here of a transporter, a military transporter from the Air Force or something, and it crashed, killing 11 servicemen out in the desert. These things happen. A lot of unlucky stories. There's a lot of history, too, here. But people sometimes got the justice they deserved, and other times they did not. The Wild West was wild. The Wild West was lawless. People were crazy and had gold and silver fever because they knew this is like the lotto. I could strike it rich, but they also killed at times. And there was hate between some of the natives. You have to understand, villages and petroglyphs and ancient sites are all around Austin. And we came in here and we took this land. And we did not treat the natives right. I couldn't even find a single grave in the Native American cemetery. It's just woods. So you have to consider that this place has a lot of wild tales. A lot of unlucky tales, like the diphtheria outbreak that killed a lot of children in this town. We're headed back to the motel, so I'll take a stroll with you. Toyabe, Mountain Range, East River Valley. It's off a little, the west is kind of diagonal. The sun is setting, but you have to understand that it's, you have the three churches. And we're sorry if it's windy and my words have gotten cut out. You can't plan for Mother Nature. And that's the third church. However, the Catholic Church probably raised the most money. You can see that a lot of the grave, intricate epitaphs, sometimes on 4 different sides, little writing in other languages in French, and immigrants who came here to make it successful. There's a lot of people from other countries, well-diverse culture here. You had natives even working in the mine. People from France and England and many other countries who came to America because these silver mines were booming. They all came from the East Coast off the boat, made the journey here in the middle of Nevada. We came here today, beautiful gemstones, artifacts from the ghost town, bottles, historical pieces, very expensive. Obviously, when bottles are found here that are in good shape, and these stores own the property to the mine, or these mining camps, tent camps, whatever you want to call them, they would definitely save some of the hand-glowing glass and crystal and sell them downtown, because Austin relies on their tourism. Besides the ranching, some mining, they really do. You have to take all those things into consideration. But we're heading back. Nothing like a stroll through downtown. This is a general store. Wine, beer, liquor. Probably a liquor store at one time. Packaged goods, a bar. Had a little of everything. Now it's dilapidated. But it still stands. The walls do, at least. The Owl Club. Pizza, slots, and pool. Now this place sounds cool. I could go in here and play some pool with Tammy or something. What's there not to love? Pizza, slots, and pool, cocktails. It's a nice place, fine establishment. My type of establishment, right? Go in there on my Easters. I may be accepted. It's very different in the Wild West. You are what you are, and there's so many different cultures. It's not like back east. People are worried about what clothes you wear. Here, walk downtown wearing a bunny suit and people will wave. A lot of RVs. It's a tourist town, obviously. People camp. People come here. They have campgrounds for RVs. I love this glass. They don't make glass like this anymore. You know how it kind of looks like a wave? It's ripply. It's nothing like this. The International coming up, burned down. Well, there's 3 of them in Virginia City. The first one was moved here, first commercial building. And then you have, I'll see there's those buildings there, but the International #2 and the International 3 all burnt down. Tragic fires in Virginia City. Fires always claim historic sites in Virginia City. Hell, only about 30% of town remains of the... Yeah, Chinatown's only a small little block. There used to be enough for thousands of people. Hold on, guys. I got to get a picture. Used to be hundreds of Chinese workers. And once Chinatown burned down, all of them moved on. Probably to towns like Austin. Look at this wall. It's a work of art, man. This town was built by Masons, and you have to understand, it played a huge role in the development of Austin. There's a lot of traffic and a lot of winds. bear with me if I'm talking slow, because I'm trying to talk around the wind, because you really can't hear the history or the story. But this is the International. It's a saloon, it's a cafe, it's an inn, it's a restaurant, it's a bar, it's everything. Hold on, guys, I want to get pictures of those wheels before we go. Stay here. I want to show everybody that this cafe has so many unique pieces of history that were kept at the end. They were kept here so that your children's children could enjoy them. We're talking like this from the 1800s. It's a wagon wheel. Look at these giant wheels. This is amazing. This is history. How can I not want to film something like this? This is history. And it's definitely well worth filming. You're not going to see anything like this. One of the reasons why I'm actually filming a lot and taking pictures too is because tomorrow I won't even be in Austin. I'll be at another ghost town and region. I will be in the wilderness. Not that this isn't the wilderness. If something bad happened here, you'd be screwed. I went to the store and there was no food. They don't get a lot of shipments. Little tiny food mart had nothing hardly. No meats, nothing. The other food mart wasn't too bad. They had a lot of more food. However, some people got to travel 75 miles to get their groceries here. Just to give you an idea of how secluded and remote this is. The little Bluebird mine, they own one of the turquoise mines. I was going to visit until I found out that they owned it. I was like, that won't be nice. I seen giant shark teeth. I at least seen 50 different minerals, wild western gear, things you could hang up. A lot of Shoshone out here actually craft dream catchers, arrowheads, all these different things, bracelets, jewelry, and they sell it, and it's wonderful. It really is. Nevada Blue Rock Gems. I forgot, Jared, we didn't go in here. Nevada Blue Rock Gems? We didn't go in here, man. Oh, has it? But these places sell some wonderful handcrafted jewelry made by the Native Americans themselves. And I seen some amazing things. I don't know about you, but when you see these videos and you see the pictures on the site, you'll understand the magnitude of how great this place is. I seen today so much. I don't know what this cement thing was, but I seen a lot of different things that you normally don't see in certain ghost towns. And when you go into a shop and you see historical artifacts for sale, I would love to be able to afford some of them bottles and things that they found in excavations here. I would love it. Some things cost $1,000, but it's nice to look at. There's antelope that are stuffed or taxidermed, and deer that they have here. These are wild western shops. They sell all kinds of, they sell gold, they sell pyrite. Just imagine how many different items that they had in these shops. It's just, I can't afford them. But the shark teeth, they had shark teeth that were like an inch and a half. That shark had to be 30, 40 feet in length. I almost bought one today. But I was like, that's not really much to remember Austin by. I want something with Austin on it, and they just didn't really have it. This is one of the turquoise capitals in Nevada, besides gold and silver. And I'm telling you, there's so many types of turquoise mined out here, and mines, and all of it's for sale, but it's very overpriced. It's triple the price of Virginia City, and so I didn't buy no turquoise. I didn't buy it in Virginia City, and it's mined here and shipped over there and sold at wholesale. So yeah, and there's the Pony Canyon Motel, and this is the Blue Cozy Mountain Motel. We got a killer deal on our room, and I'm happy. It's a 2-bedroom. It's the only one here. So I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen. I am gonna go to the International. I'm gonna have myself a brew, wild Western style, to celebrate our day here, and I'll have dinner before I go out. I brought a whole cooler full of food, 3 bins worth of snacks and food. Did you eat beans last night? Because a lot of miners eat beans and they toot in the mines and it's just like causes an explosion. Looking good. You're gonna use my brush too and comb that hair, man. You look wind whipped. It's been windy today.
Alright, you hear that?
Yes, we're done. Anyways, I want to say peace. We'll return someday to Austin, Nevada again. I love this place. This is Lord Rick. Check us out, www.paranormalghostsociety.org.
Exactly.
We're at the Cozy Blue Mountain Hotel. Let's see, what do we got? A bathtub, 2 rooms, the only 2 bedrooms in all of Austin, and we got it. Direct TV, microwave and fridge. Just want to kind of document my stay. If a place is really friendly, I love to give them good ratings, good reviews, send customers their way. We are Paranormal Ghost Society, so we do nice things for businesses that do nice things for us. They really gave us a nice discount for our family, and it's Easter weekend, you can't beat the price. Got the heater going, got a little table for games later. It's cozy. Soft beds. I could deal with this.
Look at this.
Motion sensor. That spider was a little weird.
Yeah, that was weird. Somebody hasn't had this here for a while.
Lookout Point. It's a nice piece of art.
Okay, this would be that.
We've done almost all of Austin already, but you know what? I'll still go for at the saloon for a brew. And I'm going to do the cemeteries and then the ghost town of Clifton, or at least what remains. And the rest of the day is just pleasure and fun. We got to warm up this room. Look at the...
So which room are you guys taking?
It's up to Tammy. I really don't care. Maybe this room, because we have the fridge and the microwave. And if you guys have the fridge, you guys will probably go crazy, so no. Alright. Peace out.